I think there might be a misconception, and I think that you already kind of alluded to it, that when people see you on Twitch, when they see you on YouTube, when they see you doing your live shows and you're exuding so much positivity, that people are going to think that your entire life is just positivity and good vibes. But it's a lot of work, isn't it? I mean, to handle it all.
Yeah, it's an astounding amount of work. But yeah, there's also this really interesting balance that not a lot of people take into account where, being able to work as a full-time musician is looked at as this like incredibly sought after thing of like, how lucky you are to be able to make a living from the thing that you love most and to have, kind of like this, set of purpose kind of thing. Like there's always an objective, there's always something to do, and it's, really enjoyable. And like my schedule is great. Like, I very rarely have to set an alarm in the morning. And that was always a dream of mine because I used to work in cafes a bunch. And there's this kind of weird, pressure of just like to stay not just grateful, but to exude this positive energy about it all the time. But I think what people fail to realize is that, it's an astounding amount of work and it's all consuming. And I work 24/7. I mean, there are nights where I'll roll over at I'll roll over and check my phone at like 3 a.m. just to be like, oh, what time is it? Why am I awake? And then I'll see an email and then I'll respond to the email at 3 a.m. It's like, it's just kind of always on the clock. And in music too, and maybe I put myself in this position, I don't know, but most of the work that I do, or I don't want to say most of the work because I do make a lot of music, but a huge portion of the work is not music related. It's just not.
Oh yeah. Like for instance, doing taxes, stuff like that. People don't think about that kind of stuff. Like when you're working for yourself, you're having to do taxes and all. And I'm very lucky that VIP Sound Circle has an accountant. But I remember when I had to use TurboTax and do it all myself, it was a pain. It was, I hated it. And I feel your pain in some regard because when you were talking about how you're having to do all this stuff, you do video editing for your own videos on YouTube. And I know now that can take a while because I do this podcast and I'm pretty sure it doesn't take as much time to edit a podcast episode as it does a video. And I didn't even realize how much time it took to do a podcast. So I could imagine what it's like to have a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel and do all this kind of stuff. So I definitely feel your pain there. And I think that though, because of that misconception, people might think, well, if I were Bad Snacks, then everyone would love me. Everyone would love my music. I'd never face any hardships. I'd never go through self-doubt. I'd never go through rejection. Could Bad Snacks even relate to what I'm going through? She never fails at anything. I mean, you're laughing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot there to unpack with all of those kind of thoughts and projections. I am learning a lot on the job because, because and this is something that I've brought up in workshops before of there are all these music schools that teach you essentially like how to make something of yourself, how to, be successful, quote unquote, in your career and whatever. But they don't teach you how to manage success. That's one thing that was like really critical that was missing is like it's been really difficult to find and like I've handled a lot now, like I've learned a lot on the job and like I'm chilling now, but like was a time where I was getting a huge influx of interest and attention and all this stuff. And I just didn't know what to do with it, not just on like a managerial level of like literally how do I like capitalize on the opportunities that are being sent to me, but also like on a spiritual level of like, why are, like for instance, after the Andrew Huang thing, it was like there were like 25,000 new people following my channel and following my Instagram within a couple days. And I'm just like, who are these people? Why are they interested in me? And then kind of also having to separate, like, they're not actually interested in me. They're interested in this persona. So that is also, it's a little bit of a mind fuck. And nobody ever kind of clued me in to that part, because you just, it's so much of music education is about getting to that point of like, how do you even get to the point of getting people to pay attention? And then once they're paying attention, it's kind of like, okay, what do I do now?